Hi, I'm Jay Seville, the leader of the JustNewListings.com team in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I happen to own JustNewListings.com Realty in Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C., where I have about 5 agents working for me there as well. But I live and work full-time in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I work a lot with folks from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the western side of North Carolina, who are interested in oceanfront condos. And my goodness, who would not be interested in oceanfront condos? And many of them are retiring here, or they're looking for second homes that they can enjoy for themselves a couple months a year and then rent out the rest of the year to recover some or all of their expenses. So I deal with several different scenarios, but let me just give you a real quick introduction with 2 main points on what kind of condo you should buy for Carolina Beach condos and real estate, Kure Beach condos and real estate, and some people call it Kure, some people call it Kure. It's Kure, or for Wrightsville Beach. And I'll leave you with 2 main points, but first let me just introduce you to a few buildings and give you a feel for them. Right here, this is Ocean Dunes. So Ocean Dunes is a huge condominium community. Let's see if I can scoot this map up at all. Well, I'll get to it in a minute. Down here in Kure Beach. Then you have Carolina Beach, and if you scoot up the coastline, oops, let me pull out here. Okay. So there's Kure, Carolina, Wrightsville Beach is up here, and here's Wilmington. And it's more fun to go to satellite view since we're dealing with oceanfront and get a good look at the water. So here's Ocean Dunes and Kure Beach, and it is a huge, huge community. It goes about 1/8 of a mile down the road, a whole bunch of separate little garden-style condos, in other words, like 1 to 4 stories high. What do these look like? Let's take a look at the list, and here's a good example. Ocean Dunes is a stick-built community, and it does have like across the street a nice rec area with a swimming pool, indoor swimming pool, and some other facilities, exercise room. It has some challenges. Over the years, it's not been managed well at all. In fact, a previous person associated with the community has had perhaps got arrested or legal battles for not running the community well. As a result, the monthly fee there is huge. Here it is, $830 a month. And why is it so big? Well, they're trying to catch up on their fiscal health. Last time I spoke to the president, they only had like $30,000 of reserves on hand. So it's an awesome community. Would I ever want my mom to buy a unit there? No, I wouldn't, and I would not advise it. So let me show you some of the other communities as well. Here's another one called Shell Island Resort would be in Wrightsville Beach. It looks like this. This is the north side, much more adjoining Wilmington. And if you look at the map here, my goodness, I'm not used to my new layout here. Here it is. It's on the very north side. So pull out a little bit. You can see here's Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach, and then down here, Carolina Beach. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Shell Island Resort, it's what we call a condotel. So it's owned by investors and owners. Some people actually live there most of the time. Most of them rent their units out as a hotel sort of to vacationers. And it is a fantastic money-making, well-oiled machine. I will go more into details on financial statements, profits and losses, actual PDF copies showing you the investment potential at a couple of these buildings, including Shell Island Resort. And I'll do that in another video blog in the very near future. But for now, I just want to get you a good idea of what these look like. Give you a couple other looks at them. They're pretty small, though, so it's not doesn't fit most people. It's like 550 square feet. They're just designed really for people who want an oceanfront vacation. Sorry for this being a little choppy. Here's another one. They usually sleep 6, if I'm not mistaken, and mostly they vary from $220 to $260 in terms of the price. All of them have pretty much these drop-dead oceanfront views. Another building I like a lot is Pelican Watch. And these are in Carolina Beach. Here's the logo for it. They're all oceanfront. It's a concrete and steel building, about 10 stories high. And these are really neat too because like any of these buildings, if you get an end unit, you get an extra window to look out of. So besides your oceanfront side, you have another side overlooking out at the entire coastline. This is from the kitchen at a Pelican Watch unit I sold. And I really think the end units offer a special value worth an extra $10,000, for example. And Pelican Watch has just undergone about $1 million of improvements, new balconies, and changes to the front side of the building and the swimming pool, and they're about to put in new roofs as well to the whole building. It is very well managed, very well. And over here I have a list of some of the other condominiums. These condominiums represent the majority of condos in the area, meaning they're stick-built. They're not concrete and steel buildings, and I want to show them to you so you can sort of eyeball them and have a good idea of how this works. They tend to look like this. I call them garden style. They're 1 to 4 stories high. This is Winds 4. This one's called the Reef. This is Dunes 1, Sands 4. Most of them are in Carolina Beach. And the nice, and with these, usually if you're on the second or third floor, you have a great shot at having fantastic oceanfront views. If you're on the first floor, you may not be able to see past the sand dunes is the problem. So if you want to see just from sitting down on the couch in the living room, you need to be on the second or third floor. And I'll use that one as an example of what I was talking about. Yeah, that was Unit 1B. So as you can see, if you're on the 1 level, the sand dunes are blocking you. Let's find another one if we can. 3A. This might be a better example of what it's like to be a little bit higher. Third floor. Yes. So let's see the pictures from this one instead. Okay. Much bigger views. So that's really where, if you're going to buy a condo down here, you might as well spend an extra $15,000 and be on the second or third floor. I mean, that's what people really want to rent from you or where you want to spend your time. Over here is a list of the, well, okay, this is a little disjointed because I got interrupted. Let me make this point. These larger buildings like Atlantic Towers, Pelican Watch, Shell Island Resort, they tend to be run very well by the management companies. So they have money on hand, they have a plan for improvements, and they're pretty good at avoiding special assessments. They don't have the emergencies, so to speak, that a lot of these smaller buildings have. Like you see here, these smaller buildings that are not mid-rise or high-rise, they're often not run as professionally in terms of financial reserves and improvements to the property being done and an organized, systematic calendar for those. For example, Pelican Watch. This is their assets on hand when I sold one a few months ago. Various CDs and cash and money markets. Bottom line, $1.2 million of cash on hand. Now, Ocean Dunes over in Kure Beach that I showed you, they had $30,000 for the entire community. So where would you want your mom to spend her money? In Pelican Watch or in Ocean Dunes? I think it's an easy question. Then you have the other issue, hurricanes. If a hurricane comes through like Fran, I spoke to the president of the HOA at Ocean Dunes. He said owners were out 9 months. At these concrete and steel buildings, I'm sure they fared much better or had no interruption in access to their building after the evacuation. So in terms of drama-free living and much more peace of mind, not to mention more secure financial positions of the buildings, I really encourage you to think about the high-rise and mid-rise condominiums in Carolina Beach, Kure, and Wrightsville Beach. I think it's just a better, safer, smarter investment and a safer investment as well. And here I do have a list of the some of the concrete and steel buildings right here: Atlantic Towers, the Dunes Condo, Paradise Tower. So hit me up and I'll share this list with you, or I'll send you a link or save you a search to all the concrete and steel buildings in the area if you want to start just tracking those and keeping your eyes open for them. This was an email I sent to a lady, Maria, a few weeks ago. It said, Maria, ever since helping clients buy a Pelican Watch unit, a unit that viewed the entire coastline from the kitchen as well as the front side, it struck me the only condos in Carolina Beach area, including Wrightsville Beach, I would be okay with my mom buying are in the larger concrete and steel buildings. These are much more likely to come out of hurricanes drama-free compared to surrounding smaller condominiums that are low-rise only. The other benefit is these larger buildings are usually managed way more professionally and have more financial reserves on hand and a plan of attack on long-term expenses versus winging it in special assessments. For example, Pelican Watch has over $1 million in reserves. They get $35,000 annually from Sprint and Verizon cell phone towers, for example. So there you go, a little introduction. This video ended up being a little choppy and disjointed. I apologize about that. But that's something to start with as you look at homes here in the Carolina, Kure Beach, Wrightsville Beach area.